Well, guys, here we are back with more Demon Souls. And I'm not sighing because Eric's here. I never have a problem with him being here. But Eric, you know what? I am really upset. Why, yes, I'm glad you want to know why. You have to hang around him long enough to understand what his grunts mean. If you hear a disgruntled grunt, then you should probably run away. But I digress. I'm really sad because... No, not because we're getting a lot of souls. Or not a ton of souls, but a decent amount just to increase our endurance. I'm really sad because I have a couple of deaths here in this very first part. If you'll notice, this whole thing for the first half of the level gameplay is going to be post-commentary. And that is because this game decided to, call it what you will, the LP curse, the recording curse, what have you, but it really just reared its ugly head right now in this World 2, Area 2. It hit me really hard, something fierce, so much that I decided to screw it. I am not doing live commentary if this is how it's going to go. I'll just cover the boss, which is actually the main point of this episode right here. We'll be taking on one of the definitely the most annoying boss in the game, considered by some to be the hardest. How do you take on the Flame Lurker?
Cheese him.
Cheese him. Well, yeah, but I mean, do you think he is worthy of being considered one of the hardest bosses in the game?
No.
No?
Well, okay. Is he worthy of being considered one of the hardest bosses in the game? Probably. I don't think he's particularly hard, but I think he is pretty challenging among the various bosses. And there's the secondary thing. He's pretty early.
That is
It's very possible to run into this boss fourth.
He is. Technically, if you want to go linear, which you can, it's totally up to you. He's the fourth boss you fight.
Because you would fight, Phalanx, obviously, and then you'd probably go forward to Tower Knight, and then you're stuck. You can't go forward. So then you move to the next world.
And then you fight Armored Spider, and then you take on Flame Lurker.
And at that point in time, Flame Lurker might very well be just extremely punishing.
Well, keep in mind, I have the Blanchwood armor here and the purple iron shield, the purple flame shield.
It's brushwood.
Brushwood. Okay, brushwood armor. Really heavy-duty armor. I got a great shield now, so unfortunately, instead of parrying, I just have the shield bash. You'll actually notice this coming up right now. This is going to be, like I said before, covering... this is when I was attempting to live commentate during all this, and it turns into it's really rocky. A lot of unexpected things happen, so I just decided to, forget it and just go ahead with the post-commentary. Just take care of the live commentary on the boss, which is where we'll be cutting off. So, finding these... okay, apparently, in Demon Souls, the halberd is very much not a piercing weapon, which these guys are vulnerable to. Piercing weapons and magic.
Yep.
But because I'm not a magic major character, I really want to save a lot of the fresh spice that I bought for Flame Lurker just in case, because like everything else here, he's heavily weak to magic. I'll reemphasize this later. But at the same time, in order to favor the upgrade and the stability of our purple flame shield, I kept all the hardstone for it. So I'm rocking a completely bland halberd here, and it comes to bite me in the tail so hard, I cannot tell you. It takes so much to beat those normal guys, and let me tell you, they're extremely infuriating. Coming up down here, this is actually where, after this jerk, is the very first instance of real misfortune for me. Is you're gonna see these lava worms, and I was wondering a little bit myself. You'll see me testing this theory a little bit later, because it looks like he grabs me and he throws me off the side, and I didn't even know they had. See, watch right here. Right, he comes out. What the hell is that? Oh, now see.
That was cool.
That was terrible.
That was so cool. I've never seen that happen.
Now I'm checking my world tendency, and thankfully, as long as you don't bow out and you can still be human, it doesn't lower, because we need our primary weapon. In order to get it, we need to have pure white tendency. Now, again here, this is actually totally my fault. The first one, not my fault. This death actually is my fault, because I did the one thing you really should never do in a Souls game veteran player or not, and that's lose your patience. And this is still while I was live commentating, and this was going back and forth. I didn't like the live commentary. It wasn't funny. It wasn't funny reactions. It was just pure shock at how. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel sometimes, but I was totally gypped off. I'm glad you enjoyed it, no doubt. You know, it's definitely something I can go back and laugh at. But at the moment in live commentating, that was so. Even while I was falling, you know, people don't know this, but if you can quickly navigate the menu and quit out and save quit out, when you come back in, the game requires to put you back at where your feet last touched.
Yep.
So I would have been back on that ledge. But I was just
It's the
so
same principle with Soul
dumbfounded. But I was just so dumbfounded that I just let it go. I'm like, seriously? Come on. Anyway.
Honestly, I'm not really sure you have such a problem with these guys. I know your weapon doesn't do a lot, but they're actually really easy. And backstabs do...
They do a considerable amount of damage. The biggest issue with that area is that it's very clumped.
That's the thing. Well, you weren't being patient.
No, I wasn't.
It's very, very easy to get them out one at a time, or at least in small groups.
Yeah, the smart way to do is to kite them. They come in 2 big groups generally. But at this point, I already decided to just go ahead and... Actually, you'll see me offhand just my fist. And just taking care of them the proper way with backstabs and parries. Now, granted, in any game, this is really, especially in Demon Souls, actually, the backstab and parry timings are very awkward, but you still get off a good amount of parries with these guys. I just actually kind of find it kind of funny that you can pull off the parries just with your bare fist, which is just fine with me. But you'll see here at the beginning of the level, there's 2 paths you could take. The path that I had trouble with, just
honestly,
a few minutes ago, is go ahead.
Well, I'm saying it's confusing because you had a little bit of trouble with the path, true, but that's just because you got weirdly cheesed by that worm.
Well, yeah.
But you only gave it 1 try that I saw.
Well, no, we're going back. We're going back. There's no problem with that. I just want to take care of these guys first and get the souls from here, from last time. You know, I'm still pissed off about what happened, so I'm just going to finish these guys off before I move on, make sure I don't die here, get my souls back. Because if you notice, I died a second time. The first time because of that nice little glitch, and the second time because I lost my patience, so I lost my souls from the last time. Which, granted, wasn't too much, but there's still souls lost. This is actually one of the 2 ways you could take at the fork of the road at the beginning of the level. This is actually the way to the shortcut to the boss. So this could actually be the shortest level in the game, or the longest level in the game. And let me tell you, it feels really long, especially when you don't have a piercing weapon, and you're saving your magic for the boss, like I am. Because you know those big, fat lava bugs? They're really resistant to anything with piercing damage. And they just have a ton of health. They're not dangerous in any way, shape, or form. You really have to ask for it. But they are so
They're
big.
a little bit dangerous when they explode.
That's the bigger problem with the more heavy-set ones. But even still, getting them to that point, it can be really time-consuming, which is why this whole thing has been sped up ×2. So we're finally going back to that stupid insect. And yeah, I really don't want to die here like the 3rd time. I probably would have just cut the whole recording session if I died again, but
I realize that you like the halberd, and it's a good weapon. But seriously, you should have gotten your hands on a spear or something. That makes this whole area so much easier.
Well, actually, what I didn't do, that I did do in my practice file, is that I dedicated the shards to... Yeah, I should have a +5 halberd by now. At least that's what I did in my practice file.
You don't even need that. You can do that, but seriously, you could have very easily gotten a spear by now. Get a spear.
I suppose, but I'm not sure what my dexterity is at, because it's like it's a baseline. I don't increase it at all. I hate
crap. If you have enough dexterity to use the spear, which some of them don't require that much. Come on. Then.
Oh, I can't. I threw it away.
You threw away the spear. Okay.
I didn't throw it away, or I stowed it away, or something like that. But I really didn't think I was going to have so much of a problem as I did right now.
With the spear, you can hide behind your shield, and you're pretty much completely safe as long as you don't let them drain your stamina.
Yeah.
And that makes this whole place so much easier. Like, it's really easy. Well, I like the Royal class because I like starting off with all of the advantages.
Well, yeah, the rapier is definitely a good piercing weapon.
Especially when I decided to make it a magic one.
Oh, yeah, I totally dominated this area. Did I mention I hate crystal lizards?
They're so strong in this game.
They're incredibly annoying.
And, of course, I'm not sure it's probably mentioned. Whenever they get away from you, it decreases their counter.
Oh, great.
You didn't know that?
No. I don't
All the
typically
ones
go
you're
after
letting
them
walk away
every-
from you, they're not coming back.
Yeah.
I believe every crystal lizard starts off with one spawn, and they gain one per boss. I believe.
Well, anyway, we got to Barbarian Dark Black Phantoms. And they're not too difficult, to be completely honest. You just do have to be careful because the stupid clubs that they have, like they have extreme knockback, as you'll see right there. The biggest problem here, again, is terrain, because just trying to get behind them, they're really slow, so they're very easy to backstab. They're very easy to parry as well, except, of course, I have the Great Shield, and the way my luck was going with this recording session, I wasn't going to press it anymore, so I was just going to take the safe route. Again, a good reason as to why I saved. But a good part about all this is that when they die here, they drop each a stone of ephemeral eyes. So it kind of does make up for the 2 I had to burn for the 2 deaths that we had this episode.
And, of course, they never come back.
And they never come back after this. And they do drop a good amount of souls for what they are.
Of course, those guys make it near impossible to follow the lizards the first time.
Yeah, that's the real dickish part about all this.
Have fun trying to get to that passageway with those 2 shield guys trying to stomp you in.
Now this is really annoying. There's this obvious mine there that the developers did on purpose, just for you to turn the corner and blow up in your face. I keep trying to trigger there a couple of times, but of course it doesn't go off.
If you have the purple flame shield, you can pretty much just eat the explosion.
Well, I kind of tried to show that, but apparently not. It took off like a good 1/4 of my health, dude.
That is true. I think if you're too close, it just goes around it. But I remember being safe. I don't know.
I do too. I don't know. This game is shunning me for having been off it for a month.
Oh. Also, I didn't say this on camera.
Oh, look, there's patches.
Oh, yeah. Not a trap, I swear.
Oh, you're not mad like the rest, are you? Well, what jolly travelling companions are we? Pleased to meet you. Call me Patches. Oh, see that treasure over there? Go on and take it. My gift to you, just to show that we're friends. Phew, I'm glad to meet you. These soul-starved imbeciles will drive you mad.
Yeah, there's that giant bug just dangling right over there.
Yeah.
No thanks.
That
Actually,
is such a... Oh, wow. Very full.
yeah, you're gonna see me here. I'm actually purposely trying to get hit to see if they have a grab motion, because that was totally had me flabbergasted. I'm like, do they have this? I don't know. Do they have this grab attack that I just didn't know about? And apparently they don't. So that was totally off the wall.
As far as I know, they do not have any sort of grab. The only thing I can think of that happened is when it hit you, your character model rose onto it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it was spinning, it just kind of chucked you off.
It just flung me off.
And because you weren't actually on a platform, your character didn't recover because they couldn't, like, get up. So they just kind of did that awkward...
Falling on my back.
Yeah.
These things are super bulky. And
yeah. They're terrible in the tunnels.
Oh, yes, they blow up, too. Which is what you kind of have to do here in order to get past Patch's little obvious trap. The rings the items that you get aren't too important. This is worth getting the souls. And I like to blow up Patches whenever I can, because he's dying no matter what. He's a total bastard, going to rip you off. This isn't the first time he's going to try and, plunder your corpse or attempt to kill you, so... But he does have a couple of things. He is a merchant in the hub world, in the Nexus.
But you have to deal with his next event first.
But you have to deal with his next event. But the point is, at the end of it, he will be a worthwhile vendor for a sec or two.
Oh.
Yeah, I came dangerously close to dying there. This is twice now. Well, let's be honest. If I didn't screw up once in a while, this would be too fun.
You! How did you do that?
Magic.
Weren't you watching the 2-minute confrontation?
I know, huh? It wasn't even 2 minutes because I sped this up.
Oh, Dragonstone.
Yeah, a lot of good material for fire weapons here. But, yeah, this is where I just dump all the stones that are just totally needless to make room in my inventory. Nothing really too special to have.
This physically hurts.
Not well, that physically hurts you because you're a horde monster, but...
This physically hurts me to watch.
I don't dump the rings.
You better not dump the damn rings.
Even the doubles. Oh, these things are...
Do you have any idea how many rings I have in my characters?
20?
I have quite a few.
Oh yeah, there's a club. You can definitely use it for a boss weapon to convert over to. I actually can use it for the butcher's knife, the strongest weapon in the game, pretty much.
I think statistically it is a strong weapon.
Statistically, yes. It's the only one that has Oh, I take it back. It's one of 2 weapons, I think.
With S scaling.
That S scaling to.
But that one doesn't have the other
parameter.
It's like 2 A's.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm not sure if the oh god, what's the sword called? The blue blood sword?
Oh, you mean the Great Moon Shield or Great Moon Sword?
No, not that. It's the one you get from combining the 2 swords. The one. You get from
the blue blood sword, right?
Yeah, blue blood. Yeah. I'm not sure how that one scales because I never really used it.
That one scales A to luck.
That's really weird.
It is. It's magic damage.
That's good. Magic damage is super OP.
Yes, it is.
I like these guys.
I just got a tiny bit nervous here because I usually just plow through these guys, but it's just not my day. So I just take it. They're really not all that aggressive as far as just coming up to you. That's about as far as it goes. They like to just land in front of me, and very, very rarely, yeah, just try and take stings at me. But remember, again, I'm speeding this up. So this took me a good, like, 5-6 minutes.
The other thing that annoys me is that I keep forgetting not to kill them over the cliff because they'll fall into the lava with their items. Because
yeah, that's true. But again,
in this game, the items are connected to the corpses still.
Yeah, you don't get some drops immediately into your inventory.
Yeah, so if they fall off the cliff, good luck.
Because it's gone. Kind of reminds me of the crystal lizards, huh? Because they'll actively commit suicide like that. They'll just throw themselves off the side of the world. It's so dumb.
Yeah, you can actually see their drops on their corpse.
It's just so terrible.
It's so stupid. And it's actually my main complaint about the upgrade system. Crystal lizards are the only source for some upgrades, and they're the major source for a lot of others.
And they're so ridiculously hard to get a hold of.
And, well, they're completely limited. At most, you're going to get, what, in World 1, 5 of them? 5 of each spawn?
Yeah, if that. And they sense you from 1,000 miles away.
The best way to do it is to have high dexterity and a good bow.
Yeah.
And just snipe them.
Snipe them from a distance. Just one-shot them.
Yeah. Well, if you don't one-shot them, you better be quick.
Yeah, something like that. Or, yeah, because you can stagger them, which is fairly simple. But then you have to catch up to them also.
Well, I'm saying you have to be quick with the second arrow. If you're shooting at them, you can just shoot them twice. But it's hard to stagger them with an arrow. Yeah, these guys are annoying to hit with magic.
They can be when they start in that jerking motion, and notice right here. So it just changed my angle a bit. I'm waiting for the flagrant ring to reduce some of my magic, because I'm not entirely certain. Again, not pushing my luck with how this video has gone with the flame lurker, because all I need to do is to go back onto live commentary and just totally suck majorly as flame lurker.
You see, for these guys, all that I did was just I got them to do their physical attacks. That's how it's easy to get them. Now it's a bit hard when they start dropping the lava because it doesn't just it leaves behind a little bit of damage spot. But if you just kind of walk close to them, they'll usually do the spin or something, so you can deal with that.
And again, here I finally deduced that I don't ever see this guy, trying to do a grab motion. I just finally conclude that they just can't have a grab attack. I just do not know what happened. There's a little funny glitch for the game, hopefully. The last thing I need to do is to screw up majorly because of some stupid glitch on one of the other major bosses.
Yeah.
Okay, this place here is kind of aggravating. Especially if I've been playing a while.
I got lost here for hours.
It is a maze. And what's worse is that you have these bulky buggers over here blocking the way. I'm doing, what, 56, 59 damage on a soul arrow and doing 15 with the halberd? Yeah. I'm like, even though I'm already speeding this up, we're gonna be here for a good 5 minutes just speeding up. So I go ahead and try
with
and
his weaknesses, that fight takes a while. He has too much health.
Yes.
And what's really terrible, he is the best source of Dragonstone.
Mm-hmm. This is a lovely little mine again.
Well,
yeah, there's 2 of them blocking the way. Lovely.
And there's a couple more outside if you go in the lava flow.
Yeah, I do end up having to go around that way, which isn't too bad. But again, I'm trying to get this guy. I thought if I could just, like, kite him to move a little bit forward. No, he plays this stupid game. He is just going to sit there. He might go backwards, but that's it. Incredibly annoying. I'm just not doing it. And then, yeah, I go back, and then there's the second guy.
Yep.
So here I am trying to find some way to avoid having to take up so much time. I suppose I could have cut it out, but at this point, I really just want to get this done and get to the flame liquor.
There are some crystal lizards hidden in the caves.
There are definitely a lot of crystal lizards, but that's also another main reason as to why I put my overall build for this LP. To not need that. And to be completely honest, I mean, if you definitely, don't get me wrong, if you really want to take the time to go ahead and do it, there's definitely a lot of really fun combinations that you could do with the rather, albeit convoluted upgrade system and different weapons that you can combine. But I personally prefer the boss weapons myself.
Well,
or the
boss
special
weapons
item.
the boss weapons are by and large better, but my problem with the upgrade system isn't so much how it's confusing, because it is a bit confusing. But as long as you pay attention to the options and you go to the right guy, then it's not too terrible. It's pretty easy, so you need to pay attention to what you're doing. But overall, my problem is getting the stuff to upgrade.
Yeah, farming it, getting all of it.
It's
Admittingly, yes, as we've determined, it can be a big chore. So, well, what I do like is that the inventory in Dark Souls is infinitely bigger than Demon Souls. And I will say that a lot of even some of the more unique weapons, not boss weapons in that game, are very much playable and like easier to access. You know, getting a hold of chunks and shards isn't nearly as aggravating as it is here.
Well, chunks especially.
Chunks especially. But as we come over here, we're finally
to kill anyone?
Yeah, no, that was fun. Fun times, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Right now, we're cooking up on the boss. We're going to go back to my live commentary. And thankfully, this whole mess has been mostly fixed up. But we still have the flame liquor to deal with, so hopefully that won't be too bad. All we have to do is come down this pit. That's actually where the shortcut will end. I think I reiterate that here as well. And so with that, let's go ahead and head towards the flame lurker and finish this area up. Okay, so here we are. If you took the shortcut or the right path at the very beginning of the 2-2, you'll pretty much end up in the same place, this pitfall over here. Probably not on the same plateau as we ended on the... Hold on a second. As we wound up on the end of this glorious maze. There's going to be a couple of these stupid lava worms. They're not a problem, as you've seen before. Just go ahead and blast them in the face and then move on. So this is pretty much the biggest shortcut. This, like I said before, this can be the longest level in the game or the shortest level in the game, depending on how much you want to get, how many souls you want to get for yourself. Now along this path over here, there's going to be the Fists of God, or the Hands of God. They're going to be cestus that you can use for a fisticuff character if you ever wanted to. I suppose I might have been able to do something like that for a challenge run of this game, but I have no problem deciding not to, considering how well this video started. But aside from that, these guys don't drop any stones that I need are useful, and see there, Greystone. I don't use that. Alright. Yep, Hands of God, 2 cestus that you can double hand if you wish, or dual wield if you wish. But enough of that. We finally reach the infamous boss of World 2-2, the rumored, or argued more rather, toughest boss of the game. And just like with anything else in the Souls game, as I demonstrate what not to do in the beginning of this one, do not lose your patience. That being said, I'm going to heavily stay on my Half Moon Grass, and we should be fine. Then again, considering how we've been going, who knows. So, without further ado, let's take on the hardest boss of Demon Souls. Okay, here he is, the Flame Lurker. This guy is incredibly aggressive, as he is showing right now. But, like everything else in this area, incredibly weak to magic, and that is what we are going to be trying to capitalize on. And thankfully, the purple shield really holds its own here at this point. The biggest thing, like with every aggressive boss in any game, is not to panic. And especially if he gets a shot off on you, I really wouldn't be surprised, since I'm doing live commentary, that he gets a couple of good shots on me. But if not, I'm certainly not going to complain. Just remember to lower your shield when you need to get your endurance back, because you're going to need a lot of it. And remember, I'm using a great shield. Its stability is very high. And look at how much health he's doing in one shot. And that's the problem when he's so aggressive, is that the more the more aggressive he gets, the more he's going to start hitting you. He's going to start wearing your endurance away like all hell. But we do have a bit of a cushion with our Blatchwood armor. We've already got him almost down to half health. Got a good third of his health down. Just keep backing away from him as he insists on charging you. The range for the lock-on is actually being pretty lenient, so that's very thankful. But now he's going to start getting hyper-aggressive as we get him down to half health. And I'm probably going to need to start investing in some fresh spice coming along here. He already knocks my health away and it gets a good shot on me. There you go. Yeah, another thing. Don't get locked in a corner like I clearly have just now. Just back up. Get some space between you two. Hello? Wow. Thankfully that delay didn't kill me. I'm pretty sure I said eat a grass, but he just stood there as you all saw. Alright, get some fresh spice in. And we're good for a couple more soul arrows. Let's see here. Another good thing to remember is that you can still move if your shield is down a tiny bit. It just starts, or just keep on, is he stuck? Okay, for a second I thought I got lucky enough that he got stuck on the... He can, if I remember correctly. Eric can verify this himself. Or a couple of videos, I'm sure. There's an easy way to sort of cheap him out that way. Is go ahead and get him to somehow, I'm not sure what the setup is for it, but you get him stuck on the terrain himself, and it just keeps running like that, or he just can't get out, and then you just repeatedly blast him with soul arrows. So yes, my experiences with the Flame Lurker, never had a real big problem with him in the many times that I've played the game. For the most part, I've only ever died to him once, and that was just pure unluck. Just pure unluck, or just being purely unlucky. Or that it was just bound to happen, rather. Okay, he's got just a little bit of health left. Wow! Talk about tense. Our health is really low. Okay. Oh! Okay, good, we're good. Whew. Alright, one more blast. Two more, rather. Should do it. And there goes the Flame Lurker.
You have obtained the Demon's Soul, a power that is beyond human imagination.
Well, let me tell you, just starting at the beginning of this video, I was just feeling the weight of having to do this while commentating live. And damn, I'm just really glad they didn't turn out so bad. And what's with everybody calling me? Hold on a second. There's no need for this. Hold on a second. Everybody wants to talk. Okay, so Flameworker's done, and the path to the Archdemon is set, which we will be gladly taking care of in the next part. But the Flame Lurker, so much souls, and well worth it too. So yeah, the best way to approach him always is through magic. And as a final resort, wow, I didn't even equip it. The sticky white stuff onto the halberd, even though the halberd is absolutely terrible for this area, it still would have done a decent amount of damage on the magic end. And just as I collect... don't forget to collect the... What? I can't pick it? Oh, it's just stone. But don't forget to collect the soul segments, or the soul items on the battlefield. Most bosses will have at least one. I'm pretty sure that's the only one. Don't quote me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. There's nothing on this side of the pillar, is there? No. Yeah, I'm thinking about another boss that has like 2 out of my souls. So anyway, yes, thank you very much for joining me for this part. These are actually going to get rolling really good as soon as we get our primary weapon in the next video. So I will see you guys then. Take care. I forget the Red Hot Demon Soul. Oh yes, by the way, do not spend that soul. We need that for our primary weapon. just thought I mentioned.